Okay, so today is day 2 of graphing inequalities on the coordinate grid, but this is going to be dealing with some word problems. And so when we're dealing with word problems, there's a few things that we got to make sure that we realize. Okay, one is no more than and at most are less than or equal to, and no less than at least are greater than or equal to. And then you should kind of know the other ones that you go through. But I wanted to point these out because I know that these are definitely in these word problems. So make sure that you know these and know what the symbol is that you're looking at. Okay, so we're just going to kind of jump into it because I want you to see how to work these problems. Okay, and some of the stuff, they kind of use some funny words on it, but it's fine. I've decided to purchase some learns the X and Guessible's Y. So we have the X and the Y. So the X costs 4 each and the Y costs 5 each. At most, she could spend $20. So okay, at most, less than or equal to. So we're going to be using less than or equal to here. So we know we got less than or equal to, but what are we at less than or equal to? At most, she could spend $20. So we got 20 over here. And we're going to write an inequality in standard form showing the above constraints. So using this, we're going to write it in standard form. All right, well, our X are the learns. They were 4 each. So 4X plus 5Y. So 4X plus 5Y is less than or equal to 20. So here we have it in standard form. All we got to do is plug that into there. So 4X plus 5Y less than or equal to 20. Got that? And then it says, give one impossible pair of numbers, right and point whole numbers only. Okay, so I'm going to do that, but first I want to graph this. Okay, because if I graph it, I get to really kind of see what's going on and where they're at. So here, we're going to come down here, and it says graph integral in every integral pair of numbers that is both in the relationship and on the grid. All right, so since this is in standard form, and we have our X and our Y, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my X and Y intercepts. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take, and I'm going to plug in 0 for X, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to plug in 0 for Y, and I'm going to find out what it is when X is 0, and then I'm going to find out what it is when Y is 0. This will allow me to get my X and my Y intercepts. Okay, so here, we're going to plug in 0 for X. Well, if I plug in 0 here, I get 4 times 0 plus 5Y is less than or equal to 20. And what this is going to do is give me good points along my coordinate grid here that I can graph. Okay, so well, this is 0, so that leaves me with 5Y is less than or equal to 20. And then I'm going to divide by 5, divide by 5, so Y is less than or equal to 4. Sorry, lost it for a second. So when X is 0, Y is 4. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, so I'm just going to come over here and do it. And I've got 4X plus 5 times 0 is less than or equal to 20. And then I'm going to do this. I've got 4X is less than or equal to 20. Divide by 4, divide by 4, X is less than or equal to 5. Now some of you guys, once I did the first one, could have saw what the second one was. Fine, no problem. Right? And then other people may have looked at it and said, hey, let's just put it into slope-intercept form and graph from there. And that would have worked also. Okay? So here, when my Y was 0, my X is 5. Now all I'm going to do is graph these 2 points. Okay? But here, you got to remember something. Okay? This is going to be a line segment. Okay? It's going to be a line segment because of what you can buy the most of each thing, right? So pay attention to what it's actually saying and how it's actually wording. If you, you can't continue to buy because we have a limit here on how this works. I think I'm saying that correctly. Okay, so graph every integral pair of numbers that is both in the relationship and on the grid. So we don't want a line, we want a segment. And we want to go 0, 4, okay? And then we want to do 5, 0, 5, 0. Now, it works this way because the most of these that I could buy would be 5. Because 4 times 5 will get me 20. Okay? And the most of these that I can buy would be 4. Did I say that right? Yeah. But anyways, it's a line segment because you can't go past it. Yeah. But then we also want the shaded part. Well, it includes the line, so solid line, less than, so it's everything below that. You're never going to end up above this point, okay? Because it's at most. Now all we got to do is come back up here and look. We want a point that is impossible. So we just need to write a point that isn't in our shaded area. So we just go find a point that's not in our shaded area. 4, 2. All right? Write our point. 4, 2. Yep, that works. Then we come down here, and that works. Okay? That, it looks like a lot, but it's not that bad. Because these are just finding your intercepts, your x and y intercepts, okay? Putting it into standard form shouldn't be that bad. We should be pretty adept at that. And then, at this point, now we're knowing how to graph, but instead of doing a full line here, we're doing a line segment because it's between this and this, right? And then it's everything below that, right? So watch that, and we're going to be okay. Move this, and we're going to do another one. Just do a couple of these. And so we can see our answer, right? 4x plus 5y less than or equal to 20. They used a sample answer of 3, 10, fine. And then everything below, and see how it's a line segment. So we're good there. Okay. Let's do another one. Oh, perfect. Okay. Same thing. Albert decided to purchase some whatever x and y. X costs $3 each, Y costs $3 each. She could spend no more than 18. So no more than, that's still that less than or equal to. Okay, so we got less than or equal to 18. And then both of these, 3x plus 3y, still end up in the same spot. Okay, and then we're going to still, again, solve like we did before. We're going to set up our x and y axis, 0, 0. So I'm going to plug in 0 for here. That's 3 times 0 gets me 0. So that ends up being 3y is less than or equal to 18. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Y is less than or equal to 6. So here we're going to have 6. And guys, if you solved this like this and it was 6 here, if those two numbers are exactly the same, it's going to be the same number. So 6 there, okay? So pay attention to that. All right, so we got 3x plus 3y, 3x plus 3y, less than or equal to 18. We're good there. And then look at this. It says choose the true statement. So we're looking for the one that does work. Okay? Well, we're going to come back to that. Let's graph it so that it's easier to come back and do this one. So we're going to come down here and graph, and we're going to graph our x and y intercepts. Right? 0, 6. And again, we want a line segment because of the way the word problem's worded. Okay? And then 6, 0. So now we have our line segment, and then we want to shade. We want to shade. Now, it's going to shade y is less than or equal to 6. So everything below there. And now, why is it not shaded in gray, but it's shaded with these dots? Okay? Because it's not the half things in here. It's the actual points along here that it can be, okay? And it's these specific points, right? You're not gonna have less than this, okay? So we're talking about these little points in here, not all the halves in here and all of that, okay? So that's why it's these dots, not an actual shaded like you saw on my last video, okay? So that's the reason for that. So that one's good. So now we want to choose the true statement, the one that satisfies it. So we know that the yoys are the x, the kins are the y. So Albert can buy 1 yoy and 7 kins. Well, let's find out. That's an ordered pair, by the way. Look, they just gave you an ordered pair. And that's what we're looking for. 1, 7. Nope, can't do that. So we got to find another one. Okay? And here, let's just write down our ordered pairs. 3, 5, 6, 2, 1, 0. All right. So we're looking for the one that's satisfied. We've already marked out this one. Now we just got to find the other ones. 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. Didn't work. 6, 2. 6, 2. Nope. 1, 0. There we go. That satisfies it right there. Did I do that right? Yeah, should be C. Nope. Yeah, D. Okay, yeah, I got it right. Yeah. Messing with me because it didn't show me the dot. Okay? But that's really all there is to it. Now, not always is it going to be this one down here shaded. Sometimes it's going to be this one up here. And in the answer, it's showing it as it's shaded. But when you do it actually on the problem, it's going to be like this. Okay? So, sometimes it'll be up here, sometimes it'll be here. It depends on if it says no more than or at most, or no less than or at least. Okay, so be aware of that. Pay attention to what you've got. If you have any questions, let me know.